Lord, if you love me right now, you'll flip that motherfucker. You hear me? If you fuck with me, G-O-D, you'll flip that motherfucker right now. Lord have mercy. Just tilt that bitch over a little bit.
All right, what's going on, Bulldog Nation? I know this has been a tough time. It's been a rough season so far. You know, we're 1-4. At least 1 or 2 games that we lost, we probably felt as though the team could have and should have won. I thought the team would beat Winston-Salem, and they definitely could have and should have beat Fayetteville State last week. You know, those 2 games. And also, they could have and should have beat Davenport. Those things go differently. Instead of 1-4, we're 4-1. But nevertheless, here we are at 1-4. And I'm not going to lie, things look pretty dim right now. Like, I know I said in the last video, hey man, the season's pretty much over. And for clarification, I said mathematically it wasn't over, but based upon how things are going, it's over. And truth be told, if things do continue to go in that direction, that'll be a true statement. But as I said before, and I'll say it again, the team has the talent to perform. It has the talent to win. The talent is right there on Jericho Park Road. It's there. The question is, what's going to happen tomorrow and going forward? That's really what it's going to. Are things going to improve? Are things going to change? Are things going to be tightened up? And I'm talking about from everybody: players, coaches, everything, scheme, game plan, attitude. That's the question. That's the real question. Because once again, the talent is there. And if you look at the standings, once again, yes, we're down right now. We're 1-4. In order to have a realistic shot, we really got to go on a run. Truth be told, got to go on a run. Probably would have to win out, which, I mean, if you really think about it, is not all that difficult. We got Virginia State, and we'll get into Virginia State in a second. And we got Union, right? We got those 2. Outside of that is Elizabeth City, Bluefield, Lincoln. Think about it. We're 1-4 with 5 games to go. 3 of them are Bluefield for homecoming, Elizabeth City, and winless Lincoln. So if we have even something close to a serious program, that's 4 wins on the season. The real question is Virginia State and Virginia Union. Because once again, if you look at it, we're only 2. It's still a lot of games to be played. We're only 2 games behind. And for the I'm not talking about Johnson C. Smith. It looks like Johnson C. Smith probably will be in Salem. They'll probably have a very good record, maybe 1 conference loss altogether. So that's separate. But that second spot in Salem, that's what's going to be interesting. Because a lot of the teams that are ahead of us, we still have to play. And a lot of them are going to play each other. And just from the landscape that I've been seeing, it's going to be a whole lot of dog-eat-dog stuff going on. It's going to be one team win this week, but then they turn around and lose that week. This team beats that team, but loses to that one, but that one beats. It's going to be a whole lot of that going on. Like all those North Carolina teams who have good records right now, they haven't played each other yet. Shaw has a good record. Livingstone has a solid record. Winston-Salem State has a solid record, and so does Fayetteville State. They all got to play each other, though. All got to play each other. Some of them are playing each other for homecomings. Some of them are playing each other on the road. Smith has to play all of them. So it's a whole lot that could happen. A whole lot that could happen. They still got to play each other. What we got to figure out is State and Union. We beat State, we beat Union, there's an opportunity there. Once again, a lot of stuff has to happen and fall in our way, but let's give ourselves an opportunity. Because once again, we also know State and Union play each other last game of the season as well. So there's that. And so let's look at Virginia State. Because looking at, first of all, they have an okay record. They're 2-3. And one of the losses was Benedict the first week of the season, and Benedict looked terrible week 1. So that's one of their wins, right? But look, if you really look even further into their numbers, this is a winnable game. This is not some great dominant team. It's just not. Like, if you look at yards per game, not a whole lot, like right around 300 yards per game, less than their opponent. They get less yards per game than their opponent. If you look at points per game, they're not world beaters. They're not scoring a whole lot. They're about 22 points. They don't score a lot. They don't get a whole lot of yards. They don't possess their opponents possess the ball longer than they do. Their opponents get more yards than they do. They're not really like the rushing attack that they had last year. It's not the same as last year, not even close. I'm pretty sure I looked at the stats. Their opponents get more rushing yards than they do. They're losing time of possession. So this is not a dynamic team. This is an okay team, a team that we have the talent to beat. The question becomes, is this a year where Bowie State is able to beat comparable talent, specifically on the road? Like if the two teams are pretty much closely matched or evenly matched, or maybe one slightly better than the other, can Bowie State win those games, particularly on the road? Because once again, it's not over yet. This is a team that we can beat. Quite frankly, this is a team that we should want to beat after what happened to us for homecoming last year. So, quite frankly, it's put up or shut up time. Either the team is going to fight and we're going to win this game and then turn around and have homecoming and have back-to-back wins and then see what happens versus Union, take that momentum and then turn around and spank Elizabeth City and then close out senior day with a home versus a defeated Lincoln. And whether we make it to Salem or not, we turned it around and closed strong and we can feel good about it. Or we're going to see. We're going to see a comparable team with a pretty much similar record, but it's on the road and it's their homecoming. We're going to see how the team responds, and this is pretty much going to determine the rest of the season. Truth be told.